Welcome back to DMV Sports Zone.
Chased down by Beal in the corner for three, gets fouled and hits.
Welcome to DC.
Walker tied him out.
You know where you're at, the USA cap. You're taking it slightly, I'm taking it slightly. Now how you gon' act on you gon' be right back. When we gon' be right here, we gon' be right here. We ain't going nowhere. Welcome to DC.
What's good, everyone? It's your boy Nazi with another video for the channel. Welcome back to DMV Sports Zone. And get ready, y'all, because we got a lot of uploads to come leading into the NFL Draft, which is officially 3 weeks away from when this video will be uploaded on the DMV Sports Zone channel. And before getting into what I hope to be a 3-part series, getting to my top 3 prospects for us to pick at number 11, and also I hope to have some more video breakdowns on prospects we could draft in the later rounds of the draft, I want to get to the title of this video, The Forgotten Man, I believe, in Washington, on our Washington Commanders. For all the attention that was thrown to Jonathan Allen, rightfully so, after he had an epic year last year, and you guys know, I mean, if I'm not the biggest Jonathan Allen fan, it's pretty close. It's pretty close, right? And there's a lot of attention on Chase Young on the defense. On offense, we have Terry McLaurin. Now we have Carson Wentz that was just brought over. The forgotten man, in my opinion, on this team is Kendall Fuller. I don't know if you guys know this. Maybe some of you saw this on Twitter a couple weeks ago before all this draft buzz heated up, but Kendall Fuller was the 5th best cornerback rated by PFF last year. The 5th best cornerback. And I don't think anybody's talking about him, whether it be in the podcast community, YouTube community, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Nobody's really talking about him. And I think we need to give him his attention, because while last year, the beginning of the season, much like it was for the rest of the defense, he did not start off well, right? This was dating back to the struggles that he had in the second half of last season after the epic 4 or 5 game stretch where I believe he had 4 interceptions in 3 games, but it wasn't even just the interceptions for him. His pass coverage was elite. He was a great run defender during that period of time. He had his struggles, right, after that. But the second half of last season, he really turned it on. And I think his 81.5 PFF rating, 5th best among all cornerbacks in the league, really shows that he turned it on. And we got to give Kendall Fuller more love, man. I know we have William Jackson. He was the big ticket free agent that we signed last offseason on a 3-year, up to $42 million contract. But I mean, William Jackson is going to turn 30 in October. Kendall Fuller is only 27 years old. He's a Virginia Tech Hokie, of course. He was born and raised in Olney, Maryland. He actually played with Stephon Diggs on his high school varsity team, which I don't know if many people out there know. He recently extended Stephon Diggs on a 4-year, $104 million contract. And again, we haven't really talked about him this offseason. I get it, the draft prospects. The draft itself is very sexy. It's a very sexy topic to talk about, especially with us having the 11 overall pick. Carson Wentz, obviously a huge trade that went down about a month ago now. But Kendall Fuller, he's a great player. Last year, he was arguably our 2nd best performing defensive player behind Jonathan Allen. I know that's not saying much because our defense overall was not playing well. Besides, obviously, Jonathan Allen, but also Landon Collins had a good stretch before he got injured. But again, like Fuller is a great piece on this defense. He's going to be a great piece on this defense, hopefully, for a couple more years to come. And just getting into his profile, obviously he was drafted 3rd round by the then Washington Redskins in 2016, which, again, just points to how crazy it is because he's still only 27 years old. He came into the league at, 2021? And his first year for us was not great, right? They try to play him at all the positions in terms of the cornerback position itself, whether it be in the slot, on the outside. He only had 6 starts, and in those 6 starts, he gave up a ton of yards. He wasn't great, but it was his rookie season, right? But then we started to see his bloodlines kick in, right? His rich bloodlines, all the Fuller brothers we know, right? The Kyle Fuller, Corey Fuller, I believe, played wide receiver for the Lions at one point. His bloodline's really started to kick in. His technique that you learn playing at one of the DBUs. I know that is a hot button issue, right? Hot button conversation, I should say. DBU, which university is that? But Virginia Tech definitely has had their fair share of elite cornerbacks that have come out of the school. He really showed what he was made of in his second season. He had a great season. He was arguably the best slot cornerback in the entire NFL. And the league was put on notice, man. The league was put on notice, and he was a great piece for us. And then ultimately in 2018, we have obviously traded him away in that Alex Smith trade. And a lot of fans, including myself, were very down on it because of the fact that, while yes, we only had to give up a third-round pick to get Alex Smith, we also had to throw in a Kendall Fuller, who was, again, arguably the best slot cornerback in the league in 2017. And then he went to the Kansas City Chiefs, where he was traded. And we got, of course, Alex Smith. And in 2018, 2019, although he was a little rocky, he was a very versatile piece on that Chiefs defense. He played free safety, cornerback, outside cornerback, slot cornerback. He played all over the defense. And while it was a little rocky those 2 years, 2019, a pivotal part in that Super Bowl win for the Kansas City Chiefs. He had a key pass deflection, a key interception off of Jimmy Garoppolo in that Super Bowl win for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then after that season, and this is something that maybe I'll talk about in a future video, but unlike some other guys like a Russell Wilson, like a KD, even if you want to go to a different league, right, in the NBA, unlike those guys, Kendall Fuller, the big-time player that he was, the big-time player from the DMV that he was, actually wanted to play for his hometown team. He wanted to return. Even with us, I believe in 2019, we came off of a 3-13 season, and he still wanted to play for us. While the money definitely helped, he had a 4-year, $40 million contract. I think there was even talk about him always wanting to come back to DC, even when he was playing for the Chiefs. So he came back, and again, 2020, he was injured going into the season. But once he came back, fully healthy, he had an amazing 4 or 5 game stretch. Again, four interceptions in 3 games. Who could forget the Giants? The interception against the Giants at the back in the end zone. That was a great diving catch by him. And in my opinion, this might be a stretch, but he gave us our best cornerback play in a while during that 4 to 5 game stretch at the beginning of 2020. I don't know if you guys remember, it wasn't just the interceptions. Once again, it was the pass coverage. It was, being great in terms of stopping the run as well. He was not afraid of getting dirty, right, when it came to stopping running backs out of the backfield, and he was great. But then things started to tail off, and even though the rest of the defense actually improved towards the second half of the season, things started to tail off. Things continued to tail off into the beginning of the 2021 season. But then again, second half of the season came on, even while we were losing a bunch of games, right, after that 6-6 point in the season, he still was playing well, and I just think this video is dedicated to him, right? Because I think he deserves more attention. He was a pivotal part on a overall lackluster defense last year, but he didn't play lackluster. He was, again, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And people out there might remember how he got burnt by Mike Evans for, I think it was a 62-yard touchdown. And people might point out moments like that and other moments in the season, but overall, he was a very good cornerback for us. He deserves more attention. He's going to be a pivotal piece for us next year and hopefully seasons more. And we got to talk about him. We potentially could add to the cornerback position in the draft. We also have a young guy, Benjamin St-Juste, who was out for extended periods of time last year with concussion after concussion, even though he did provide some good play when he was on the field. But Kendall Fuller, in my opinion, he's cornerback 1. Like, I know we signed William Jackson last offseason, but Kendall Fuller has proved to be a cornerback 1 in this league. His Madden rating, I know this is super random, but his Madden rating has always been high. He's an 88, and I think that's a top 10 in the league. And he's been top 10 in the league in Madden the last 2 years. I know it's Madden, it's fake stats, fake game, but I mean, it just shows that, I guess, nationally, people have more respect for Kendall Fuller than maybe some fans have locally. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the DMV Sports Zone channel, where I like to post fire content like this as much as possible. Also, go follow our Twitter page at DMV Sports Zone, Instagram page, all lowercase DMV Sports Zone, and our TikTok run by Abdullah at DMV Sports Zone as well. And yeah, this is the Fuller video. And now I'm going to get into the videos that will discuss my guys, the guys that I want to be selected by Washington at pick 11 overall and in other rounds as well in the NFL draft. But yeah, see you guys on the next one. Peace.